We're learning Zilu Nishmas Etta Ahuva Yaakov Maseches Makos Perek Beis Mishna Beis Hazarik Evan LeRishus Harabim B'Harag Harei Zeh Goylo. If someone throws a stone into Rishus Harabim and he kills someone, so that's considered a shayging, and he goes to Gullus. The Gemara says it's Dafka talking about a case that he was knocking down his wall. Otherwise, he should be ma'ayin. So he was knocking down his wall into an ashba, and it was an ashba that was used to go to the bathroom at night, but not during the day. But once in a while, someone would go during the day. So it's not considered a pesheya. If it was a shegig carved pesheya, then he wouldn't go to Gullus. And over here it's not a pesheya because in general people don't go to use it as a bathroom during the day, so there's no reason for him to expect that people would be there. But also oinus namiloi havi is not considered a oinus because there's some times that people do go to the bathroom. So that's what the Mishnah is talking about. You were zarik even the rishus harabim meant because he was knocking down his wall and the stone went flying and it killed someone who was in this ashba during the day, where it was generally not used during the day. The Mishnah says another halacha. I threw the rock, no one was there, and then after I threw it, you went there, so then you're not chayiv galus. Learned out from Xeris HaKasav that it says umatza prat lemamtzias atzmai. As the Gemara explains, it has to be dumya diyar, similar to a forest, just like a forest is there before. So too, the person had to have been there before. And in this case, where he was not there, b'shas I threw it, and only came there afterwards, I'm pater from galus. The Mishnah continues, Zarek es ha'even l'chatzeiroi. If I threw a stone into my own yard, v'harag, and it killed someone, so im yesh rishus l'nizik l'kanis l'sham goyle. If the person who winded up getting killed had permission to be there, then that would be a case of galus. But he had no rishus to be there, then I would not be chayiv. The Mishnah says the reason you learn out dumya diyar, ma yar rishus l'nizik u'l'mazik k'kondisham, just like a forest, the nizik has permission to be there. Everyone has permission to be in the forest. Yatsa chatzer b'alabayis shein rishus l'nizik u'l'mazik k'kondisham. In my chatzer, and you walk in there, and you have no permission to be there, so then you're not chayiv galus. Mishnah ends off with the last halacha b'shol oimer ma chatavas eitzim rishus, which is the case of the pasuk that someone was chopping wood. So Yotza Av Hamakez Benoi by Rav Haredes Tamidu Shliach Bezin. These three cases are not rishus. It's a mitzvah for Av to hit his son. The Mishnah says even after he's melumid, still Afagav the Gomer mitzvahu, because the pasuk says Yaser Bincha V'Yamchecha V'Yitei Ma'adonu M'Nafshecha. And we'll see soon in the next Mishnah when there will be an exception to that, when there's not a mitzvah to hit your son. Baharav Haroides Talmida is the second example, and Shliach Bezdin is the third example, that all these cases, since there's a mitzvah, it's talking about that he was giving Makos, and someone died through the Makos, and then there would not be Galus. Mishnah Gimel, Ha'av Goyla al Yedei Haben. A father goes to Galus by killing his son. So, like we said, the last Mishnah said that if it was doing it for teaching him chinuch, so then it's a mitzvah. But here we're talking about that he's doing it for umnis, shuli denagri, and he was gomer umnis achrita. He already had a different job, so there was no mitzvah in me teaching him, not even the umnis, because he had a different job, and therefore the father would go to galus al yidei ben. Same thing, ben is goyel al yidei av. If the ben is harag av b'shegi, goes to galus. Hakol goyel al yidei Yisrael. If anyone, which the Gemara says is la'asuye Eved v'kusi, if an Eved or a Kusi kills a Yisrael, then the Eved v'kusi will go to Galus. Yisrael goylin al yidein. If Yisrael kills an Eved v'kusi, then the Yisrael goes to Galus. Chutz me'al yidei ger toishav. So the Pasha reading of the Mishnah would sound like that if Yisrael kills a ger toishav, then he would not go to Galus. However, the Rambam Paskins in his Pirush Mishnayos and in the Halacha in Perek Hey and Elchos Reitzayach that if Yisrael kills a ger toishav, he does go to Galus. So the Taisus Yantif, everyone asked the question, but Taisus Yantif says that you have to read the Mishnah Chutz Ma'al Yidei Ger Toishav, that you don't have it both ways. Everything we said until now in the Mishnah goes both ways. Ha'av goy yidei ben, ben de goy yidei ha'av. And also Akrel goy yidei Yisrael, Yisrael goy yidei. But Chutz Ma'al Yidei Ger Toishav only works one way, meaning that if Yisrael kills a ger toishav, Hitaka does go to Galus, like the Rambam Paskins. But if a ger toishav kills a Yisrael, then he does not go to Galus, because a ben noyach doesn't need hasra, and hasra sezuhi hasra asay. And there's a miyat that it says, "V'hayu lechem la'ari mikla," it is lechem the loy legerim. And this is what the Gemara says, that the Gemara asks the stira on this, because the next line of the Mishnah says, Ger Toshav Eina Goyle al Yidei Ger Toshav. If a Ger Toshav kills another Ger Toshav, he goes to Golus. So the Gemara explains that if it's a Ger Toshav, Harag Ger Toshav, then he goes to Golus. But a Ger Toshav, Harag Yisrael, he doesn't go to Golus, because then we say this miyat that lachem v'loy legerim. The Mishnah ends off with two machlokes in Rabbi Yehuda and Rameir. Number one is about Asuma. Asuma in a Geil divrei Rabbi Yehuda, Rameir Omer Geil. And the Gemara learns it out. Psukim, how you touch the word beloy rois. According to Rabbi Yehuda, it's prat l'suma. According to Rameir, it's a rabbis es Asuma. And Hasayne in a Geil is machlokes. Rabbi Yehuda says Hasayne nereg mimnei shehu kimud. And the third shita is that Reb Shimon Aimer Yeshay Negayla, Yeshay Negayla, Zakal, Kol Sheyachal Aimer Ladas Harag, Negayla, Shalei Ladas Harag, Harei Zagayla. So depending on whether he did it on purpose or not, so then he would go to Golus. If it was Shalei Ladas, he would go to Golus.